right, happy Saturday night, guys. We are live talking about the weather. This past week was interesting. It was below normal. We saw waves of rain move through, and today was a beautiful day, though. It was clear, it was sunny, but it was breezy. Humidity was down, and it felt wonderful. We had a front move through in the last couple of days, and what that's doing is pushing out the moisture, leaving us with clear skies and very comfortable mornings, and we have more phenomenal mornings in the forecast for tomorrow morning early, Monday early, Tuesday. So we're not done with this awesome pattern just yet. It's not until about Tuesday and Wednesday it starts to change, and it's all due to a tropical disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico, which we'll talk all about in just a little bit. But if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Join the conversation. We'll be talking all things weather for the next 10 to 20 minutes here on KENS 5. September averages. So, we just entered a new month in the last week. August is done. Say goodbye. September is here. And by the end of September, September 30th, our average highs drop off pretty significantly. Average highs go from the middle 90s to the middle 80s by the end of this month and early October. Lows drop to about 66 by the end of September. And what's phenomenal is that low by the end of the month, 66 is what you see. We're actually going to be right around 64 tomorrow morning. So a below average front and a pattern moving in. And here's a look at the forecast low temperatures. Now our high temperatures will be right around the mid to upper 80s at the next couple of afternoons, but the mornings will feel great. Tomorrow morning we're forecasting a low of about 64, Monday 65, and then 67 early Tuesday morning. Keep in mind that yes, these are not chilly temperatures, but when you add in very dry air, lower humidity, and just clear skies, it makes for a nice, comfortable, crisp start to the morning and day for Monday, Tuesday, and tomorrow as well. By the middle of next week, that's when moisture and humidity returns off a southeasterly wind, and that's when we're back to a pretty normal pattern by the end of next week. So enjoy tomorrow morning, enjoy early Monday and early Tuesday, because we have awesome, comfortable, almost fall-like air, at least in the mornings and overnights. In the afternoons, it warms up fast, and we're back to normal right around 90 degrees, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. But it's a sneak peek at what you can expect for the next couple of mornings. For San Antonio, and even cooler across the hill country, if you're watching from Kerrville, Boerne, Fredericksburg, there will be a few areas tomorrow morning and early Monday that may dip down into the upper 50s. So a light chill on the air. It's not chilly, but it is going to be a lot cooler compared to where we typically are in September. And remember, it's still summertime. It's not till late September, early October, we start to get more frequent, stronger cold fronts moving through. This one that moved in the last couple of days is just giving us a taste of fall, specifically in the mornings. By next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, we're bumping up our chance for a few showers and storms, courtesy of a tropical low that's in the Gulf of Mexico right now. It has a pretty high chance at forming into Tropical Storm Francine, the next name for the hurricane season, and that is in the Gulf of Mexico. And again, we'll talk about that in detail in just a bit. Norma, awesome weather we're having. Yeah, it is wonderful. It is gorgeous. I mean, you step outside this morning, it was breezy, it was clear, the humidity was gone. It felt phenomenal. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at this morning's low. I'm kind of curious. I think it was in the middle 60s. Here are today's numbers. It was actually only 72 in the city. In some spots around the metro, probably right around 70 to 69 or 68, but that's about it. But tomorrow morning will be about 5 to 7 degrees cooler, so it's going to feel great tomorrow morning. So yes, Norma, the awesome weather is only going to continue, and we have some great weather on the way for the next 2 to 3 days. Not until Wednesday and Thursday it starts to switch on us. Okay, so we talked about rain chances. Next 7 days primarily dry, but Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe Thursday offers up a possibility at seeing a couple of showers and storms from the tropics. And again, we'll get to that in a second. So here is the reason why we're comfortable today and even better tomorrow is because of a front. It passed through the Lone Star State the last 2 days, and what it's doing, it's pushing out in the Gulf of Mexico. It's pushing towards the southeast across parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, almost to Florida. You can kind of see as I zoom in, right? The front's in the Gulf of Mexico. We're on the nicer side of the frontal boundary. And what that's doing is driving out the moisture, the humidity, and that's going to allow temperatures to really fall in the overnight. It's not going to get cold. Just want to preface that. But it will get crisp tomorrow morning. Chilly is subjective. And, you talk to some people And they would say that this morning was a little chilly. It was breezy. Temperatures were right around the upper 60s and lower 70s. But for most people, that's not chilly. It just feels great. And I think tomorrow morning will be a little cooler, but still in that comfortable, crisp category. Not necessarily chilly, but for some, it might be a little chilly tomorrow morning. 64 degrees tomorrow morning is what we're shooting for. Right now, it is a comfortable, clear night. Humidity is down. Now, when we take a look at humidity, obviously you can see 37%, not bad, but the dew point is at 55. That is indicative of a very dry atmosphere. Just put into perspective, when it's humid outside, dew point's over 70, and the fact that we're at 55 right now feels great. All thanks to a northeast wind at 12 miles an hour. Again, that's pushing out moisture and surface humidity. Here's today's highs. If you were traveling across the Lone Star State, it was warm. The morning was comfortable, but the afternoons were seasonal, below average, I guess you could say. 91 the high temperature here in San Antonio, 95 at Del Rio. It was 85 today in Fredericksburg. Hill Country was awesome. 85 at Cotulla and lower 90s in George West and Beeville. Right now, temperatures a little cooler. 84 in the city, 83 at Seguin. We're in the 70s in the Hill Country. Great weather out there. Still about 90 in communities out west down Highway 90. 78 in Victoria and 81 at Port Lavaca. 83 at Pleasanton. So again, the big story was the winds of change, and thanks to a north and northeast wind. Remember, living here near the Gulf of Mexico and South Texas, our winds usually are predominantly out of the south and southeast, keeping humidity high off the Gulf of Mexico. So anytime, especially in the fall and winter, and even late summer, when you get a north and northeast wind turning in from the opposite direction, that drops the humidity, and that usually ushers in a very dry weather pattern. And you can see it's a little breezy outside. Occasional wind gusts at the airport, 25 miles an hour, near 30 in some areas, up I-35, 21 at Del Rio, and similar numbers across the area. Now, let's rewind this back. Let's go back until about 5 o'clock. So here's the overnight forecast. Tomorrow morning, as you wake up, middle to lower 60s, plus a breezy wind around 15 or 20 miles an hour occasionally. That's going to produce a light chill on the air. It's not going to be cold. Just want to preface that. It's not going to be cold, but it will be a lot cooler. Just how this morning felt great, tomorrow's going to feel even better. Add in a wind that's a little breezy at times, 15, 25 miles an hour. It's going to feel phenomenal tomorrow morning. And the great news is that kind of wind speed, 15, 25 miles an hour, sticks with us through most of Sunday. So it will be warm tomorrow, mid to upper 80s. But you add in that nice wind, it's going to feel great. So let's stop the clock here at tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. or so. And you can see there will be a few areas across the Texas Hill Country between Edwards County, Real County, Kirk County, and Gillespie County that may dip down to about 58 or 59 tomorrow morning. But that'll be the coolest in our area. Most regions lower to middle 60s. Breezy north winds. It's going to feel great tomorrow morning. But just a heads up for that. Tomorrow's forecast, 68 at 8 a.m. and then 87 to 88 for a forecast high for your Sunday. If you don't have plans out tomorrow, make plans, spend it outdoors, go to the park, do something. It's going to be great. Oh my gosh, it's going to be phenomenal for tomorrow. Is it the first Sunday of September? No, I think last Sunday we started September. Yeah, the second Sunday of September. So we're in the second weekend. It's only the 7th. And we still have a few weeks to go for this awesome month of September. Now, speaking of September, we have, we talk about this a lot, especially this time of year. The tropics, they're very active. Now, there are no hurricanes or tropical storms out there currently, but in the Atlantic, 2 tropical areas of interest, moderate chance at development, better chance at development closer to home. In the Bay of Campeche, west of the Yucatan in southern Mexico, is an area that is dubbed Invest 91L. Let me just verify that real quick. Invest is short for investigative area, and then Invest 91, the numbers given and designated from the Hurricane Center. It's just a way to track different tropical waves that could potentially become storms and hurricanes. Let me just Invest 91. Yeah, it's called Invest 91L. And the letter L lets us know it's in the Atlantic Basin. Technically, it's in the Gulf of Mexico, but it's still part of the Atlantic Basin. So anyway, high chance at cyclone development. This could will likely be our next tropical storm. If it were named, upper left-hand corner shows the next names on the list: Francine, Gordon, and Helena. So this will likely be Tropical Storm Francine, and this is heading towards the Texas Gulf Coast. Now, you might think, well, this will be a good rainmaker for us, and it could be. Now, let's just show you what we have. So this is tomorrow around 5 o'clock. It's still meandering over open water. Fast forwarding through Monday at about 5 p.m. It's pushing farther north relatively quickly, nearing the valley sometime Tuesday morning. So if you're heading south later next week, I should say, Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, this is going to mean some pretty good rain for Brownsville, McAllen, Harlingen, Raymondville, Port Mansfield, to Corpus Christi, and the Texas coast. Now watch what happens. Now if what will become Tropical Storm Francine, if it were to move directly north towards us, then it would mean decent rain for San Antonio, the Hill Country. It would be great news for us. However, most of the model guidance has it doing this. It pushes a little bit farther north, and then it starts to traverse farther east towards Houston. Shocker. It always heads towards Houston. Always either western Louisiana or southeast Texas. Now, with that being said, there will be a small chance, 30% possibility at isolated storms Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe Thursday, but it looks primarily from the valley to maybe Corpus down to Houston, primarily the Texas Gulf Coast and the Rio Grande Valley will be in the sights for this having and producing good heavy rains. For San Antonio, not really. It doesn't look like it. The flooding threat is going to remain south and southeast between September 10th and September 11th. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. If you're heading towards the beach, Corpus Christi, the Valley, Galveston, western Louisiana, this may slow down your travel. So just a heads up there. It's because of the tropics. The first few weeks of September are always the busiest. They always bring more clouds, more rain, and more tropical systems because of overlapping factors. Usually the first few weeks of September are the busiest because we're wrapping up summer. We've had the entire summer to warm up, so that means ocean water temperatures are extremely hot. There's less Sahara and dust in the Atlantic, and overall the atmosphere is just more favorable for developing tropical storms and developing hurricanes. Yeah, I know, shocker. I mean, Houston, San Antonio typically gets like 31 to 32 inches of rain per year. I think Houston gets about 50 to 55. I'll have to double check that, but it's a lot more than us. And the fact that they're just down I-10, a few hours away, the climate completely changes. They just get more rainfall than us. Western Louisiana, southeast Texas, it's just a different atmosphere over there. It's more humid, it's more juiced up, they got more moisture, humidity, and then any tropical system that moves in that direction, just any type of energy is going to pop off a pretty good amount of rain. From Houston to Lake Charles, most of southern Louisiana is in that ballpark too, but Houston, average rainfall is significantly higher than San Antonio. So let me just double check that. Houston, average rainfall, annual, they get about 49 to 50 inches of rain through the year. And again, to compare 50 in Houston to about 31, 32 in San Antonio, it's a pretty big difference. A couple hundred miles down the road. So glad we're in this weather. We're done with the triple digit. I think so. What's up? What's up, Jill? How you doing? Our director, Jill, is saying hi to me right now. What's going on? You got any news for me? Are we going on time?
Oh, no, not yet.
Okay. You're like, I just got back from break.
Yeah, I was working from home.
True. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
I didn't like it.
Oh, well then you can.
I'm not a work from home person.
Then stay here more often. Just stay here.
Tell me what to do. You're not a good dad.
You're not my father. Yeah, so I think we're done with the triple digits, guys. I don't think we're going to see any 100-degree weather anytime soon. Our typical last 100-degree day based on like 120 years of data is like late August, and we're past that. So I think it's safe to say we're done with 100-degree weather. We'll probably maintain 90s through the rest of September. But there will be days here and there that, stay in the 80s and lows in the 60s and 70s. But hopefully, I'm pretty sure we're done with it. It's just waiting for that first cold front of fall to move through at the end of September and October. From Brian, hope all is well. Can I get a shout out and wanting to know what do you think we will have, if we will have an actual fall this year? You know, La Nina typically means cooler and wetter towards the end of fall and mainly towards winter. Obviously, it's a coin toss every year, but you know, I hope we do. I would say yes, just because of how cool we're getting. I mean, we're looking at lows in the 60s tomorrow morning and early Monday, so that's below average. I mean, our overnight average is about 73. We'll be in the middle to lower 60s tomorrow morning, Monday and early Tuesday. So we're seeing unseasonably cool temperatures already, so that may be a sign and a signal at some more frequent cold fronts in the future. We're just hoping that happens and plays out. So, as a matter of fact, let's just show you. I want to show you the average time of our first cold front. Now, we've talked about this before. Cold in meteorology, when a front moves through, a cold front moves through, it doesn't matter if it's a degree cooler. That's still a cold front. When you talk to other people, they're like, if the high temperature goes from 91 to 90, that's a cold front, but it's so subjective. Cold's like, when you think of cold, you think of 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, right? It's depending on what you're looking at high temperatures and low temperatures. So take a look at this graphic. The first column shows you the max temperature below, for example, below 80, below 70, below 60, below 50. The average date for the first cold front to provide that, for example, below 80 degrees in our afternoons is around September 17th. We haven't gotten there yet. Don't think that's going to happen this year. Last year in 2023, that first decent cold front didn't move through until October 5th. So it was behind schedule based on average. And then below 70 for high temperatures, October 19th, it didn't happen until late October. And if you remember last year, I think it was the 29th or 30th. It was before Halloween last year, but it got really chilly for Halloween 2023. And I think our highs last Halloween were like in the 50s, maybe even some 40s. So there was a strong cold front to move through at the end of October. Is that going to happen every year? No. But this, again, just shows you what happens compared to average and how it unfolds year to year. That's the average column. And then how it unfolded last year for 2023. So again, it's subjective. Cold to you may not be what cold is to me and to other people. So it's always a subjective term people like to talk about. What is cold? What is chilly? You know, things like that. But anyway, that is a look at when we typically see our first cold front. Norma, when is our first cold front? Well, tomorrow morning will be cooler, middle to lower 60s tomorrow morning, early Monday morning, and early Tuesday. But in terms of highs getting below 70, below 60, that's probably not going to happen until October or November. Again, this pattern changes day by day, week by week, and right now there are no signs or signals for strong cold fronts in the forecast. Hey there, Sheila. Hope you're having a wonderful night, a wonderful Saturday night. Hey there, Hayden. Ready for that PSS, pumpkin spice season? You know it. I'm ready. I've yet to buy a pumpkin spice latte. Not yet. I mean, I've had one. I just haven't bought one this year. Yeah, you gotta wait till it gets a lot cooler, right? Highs in the 60s and 70s, and then lows in the 50s and 40s for that to really hit. To really hit. It always rains in Houston. Yeah, I know. Houston's just not a. You know, I don't want to say that. Houston's a great place. My director Jill doesn't agree. Oh, she likes San Antonio better. She likes Corpus Christi better. Huh?
We're on time.
Good. All right. Thank you, Joe.
Stop lying about me on Facebook.
Norma, your birthday is in October. That's a beautiful month to have a birthday, Norma. My birthday is in December, and hopefully it's chilly for my birthday. Happy birthday to Bill Taylor from Jacob. Happy birthday, Billy T. Thanks for the info. Love the weather from Norma. Hoodies coming out. You know, Jay, hoodies tomorrow. What's up, Rania? How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You heading out?
Are you live?
I'm live right now. Yeah, I'm talking to the people right now. They're saying it's going to be chilly tomorrow morning. It's just how it is.
That sounds great. How can I
You too.
want to meet your wife still?
One day. Eventually, we'll plan something. I'll see you later, Rania. Our reporter Rania was just saying goodbye to us, so sorry about that, guys. Which day in December, Hayden? My birthday is, I'm thinking about it, December 2nd is when I turn 31. I'm turning 31 this year, guys. December 2nd. Yeah, all is good. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely, Norma. It rains all the time. Dude, it just doesn't stop in Houston. Houston is always getting the rain. Again, average rainfall in Houston is like 50 inches annual per year. Our annual rainfall in San Antonio is like 32, 33. So it's just a different world when you're comparing annual rainfall, annual humidity. I mean, it's just a different world in Houston. Louise, looking good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Norma. I mean, tomorrow morning, do me a favor. Make time tomorrow morning. Like if you wake up early, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, walk outside and just enjoy the crisp air. Is it going to be cold? No. But it will be chilly to crisp tomorrow morning. And I say that because like there will be a few areas in the hill country that dip down to like 58, 59 tomorrow morning. I think San Antonio stops at about 63, 64 tomorrow morning, which again is not cold. It is not. It is not. But it is a lot cooler and a lot different. I mean, our lows all summer long have been in the middle to upper 70s, even 80s in the overnight. And the fact that we're dipping down into the lower to middle 60s tomorrow morning, it's going to feel different. This morning felt different, and it was only at 70. Tomorrow morning, 64. So make time to go out tomorrow. You are going to love it. Many blessings, Norma. Thank you so much. Layla, hello. Hope you're having a wonderful night, guys. Tropics, Hayden, your birthday's on the 8th. December 8th? Is that what, you're just a few days after mine? That's awesome. That is awesome. It's hot days coming from Deanna. Well, what do you consider hot? We don't have any 100s in the forecast, but we have like 92s to 93s through next week and the following week as well. But that's pretty much it, you know, that's average. So, but that is still hot, right? That can still create problems if you're outside for a long amount of time. So I would say short answer, no, just because this past summer we dealt with a lot of hundreds, not a record-breaking amount of hundreds, but we dealt with a few hundreds. So I think hot days, average, but nothing incredibly hot or above normal. All right, tropics again. We talked about this earlier, guys. In the Bay of Campeche, tropical low. This will likely become and strengthen into Tropical Storm Francine. Will it bring rain to us? Not likely. There will be a couple of showers around San Antonio Tuesday and Wednesday, but just how we've been talking about. Most of the rain from the Valley to Corpus Christi and to Houston, Galveston, Western Louisiana, primarily September 10th, 11th, and the 12th, so the middle of next week. Flooding threat primarily along the coast. I'm throwing in a 30% opportunity at seeing a couple of storms in our area Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Yeah, also Sagittarius. Yeah, Hayden, same with me, man. Same with me. Sagittarius turned 50 on December 3rd. Hey, a day just after mine. That's awesome, April. Turning 50 on December 3rd. That's a big age, man. That's awesome. Good for you. Blessings on your birthday later in December. December babies are the best, right? I can't wait. I mean, I think primarily between like late October and Christmas is just the best time of year. It's just different. You're preparing for Halloween, you're preparing for Thanksgiving, you're preparing for birthdays, you're preparing for Christmas as well. I just think that time of year is just awesome. And we get more cold fronts. You know, growing up, I thought summer was the best season. Now I'm thinking more fall and winter is just the best. I love highs in the 70s and lows in the 50s and 40s. Perfect days like low at 55 degrees with a high near 78 with a breezy wind, 10 to 20 miles an hour, clear skies, mostly sunny. That's my perfect day. And that's when you get those sunny days in October, November, and December. Guadalupe, hope you're having a wonderful night. Hey, how are you? But yeah, guys, I mean, I wouldn't say this is a really hot forecast. It's really near normal, if not below normal, because you can see tomorrow, 85. I think I'm going to adjust tomorrow's forecast high at about 87. I think we hit about 87. but some models are saying about 85 to 86. So tomorrow's going to be a nice day overall. That is awesome. Ready for some cooler weather. Yeah, me too. Tomorrow morning, Guadalupe is going to be like in the lower to middle 60s. Go out, enjoy it. Everybody go out and enjoy tomorrow morning. It's going to be phenomenal. It is going to be October-like weather. It's still September, obviously, but tomorrow morning, early Monday and early Tuesday are going to feel like it's fall. After about 10 a.m., it warms up fast and you lose that feeling. Can't put summer clothes away just yet. Yeah, you can't. You can't because the heat can sneak up on you. It can still get hot in the middle and end of September. Don't get it twisted. It can get hot, but I think the hundreds are done with us, but it can still easily warm up to 97, 98, 99, depending on the pattern. Okay, so tomorrow's high, going for about 87. We may stop at 85 or 86. It just depends. Tomorrow, guys, will be a little breezy. Tomorrow morning, 15 to 25 miles an hour. So if you have outdoor plans tomorrow, if you're going to the park, if you're doing any grilling outside, for example, going to the park, just keep in mind it will be breezy and maybe windy at times. I would say primarily breezy, but the winds may gust around 25 miles an hour in the afternoon and morning. So just a heads up. Are we getting a colder winter this year? Well, La Nina to, let's see, hold on. So La Nina and El Nino dictates the strength of a winter season. Obviously, more factors than that, but let's see. I need to see what our forecast is when it comes to El Nino and La Nina. It looks like we're trending near looks like through winter, a weak La Nina. So that means on average, again, this is a very broad forecast for the winter, December, January, February. It looks to be cooler and wetter than average. More storm systems dropping down, more cold fronts dropping down. But again, that's a very broad forecast, and that's just based on one factor, just from what I can see. Hopefully, we get more rain. We do need it. We're running right around average for this year. We're doing great in regarding rainfall, but hopefully it means a lot cooler weather by the end of the year. All right, guys, that's the forecast. I'm going to leave it on here a little longer. Have a wonderful night. Again, just to reiterate, tomorrow morning, go outside and enjoy the beautiful weather. It will be breezy. It will be 5 to 7 degrees cooler. Some parts across the hill country may drop down to about 58 or 59 tomorrow morning. I think San Antonio 64. There will be a few areas around the metro and around San Antonio that may dip down to 63, but mostly lower to middle 60s tomorrow morning, and same thing early Monday. Next several mornings, phenomenal, comfortable, almost fall-like weather. After 10 a.m., temperatures warm up into the 80s, but that's not bad. 87 in the afternoon, 89 Monday, 90 on Tuesday. There may be a couple of tropical downpours around Tuesday and Wednesday, primarily towards the coast and towards Houston. So if you're traveling anywhere around September 10th, September 11th, and September 12th, there will be heavy rain between Corpus Christi and Houston and western Louisiana. So something to just keep in mind. For next week. It may be a little shaky with the tropical low. That will likely become Tropical Storm Francine, only giving us in San Antonio an isolated chance of a storm Tuesday and Wednesday. But again, Corpus Christi towards Houston, better opportunity at cashing in on more scattered to widespread rain and a few thunderstorms. Have a wonderful Saturday night, guys. Be safe, and we'll see you on live tonight on KENS 5 News at 10. We'll have another update on the weather and everything you need to know about San Antonio and local news and sports. So tune in to KENS 5 at 10 and 10:30. We'll be live. And have a wonderful Saturday night, guys. Again, enjoy tomorrow morning and early Monday. Lower to middle 60s, extremely dry air, no humidity, and breezy. Tomorrow morning is going to feel phenomenal.